Ladies and gentlemen, the Pleb is back. In today's report, well, Pierre Poilievre has done it again. Another woke reporter here in Canada decided to try their fate at debating Pierre Poilievre at a press conference, and you guessed it, they get absolutely destroyed. As well, tonight, Justin Trudeau gives his closing speech at NATO to absolutely nobody in the crowd. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Before we start tonight's report, are you fed up of the radical left? Are you fed up of extremists like Justin Trudeau and Joe Biden? Well, if the answer is yes, smash the subscribe button because you're going to love this channel. Welcome to your second report of the day. Now, many of you didn't see the video I put out this morning of Joe Biden's absolute train wreck big boy press conference. Make sure to go check that out after this video. But tonight, we're going to talk about Pierre Poilievre. Well, folks, it happened again. Another woke reporter decided to take a shot at debating Pierre Poilievre at a press conference. And just like all the other times, it obviously doesn't end well. And this time, the reporter wanted to debate Pierre Poilievre over safe supply. And this is what happened.
Eric Andrew, Globe and Mail. Your party hasn't actually said what your policy towards safe injection sites will be. So you want to close this one, but will you close others? What will you do around safe injection sites across the country?
I will be closing them. We will close safe injection sites next to schools, playgrounds, anywhere else that they endanger the public and take lives. We will defund. By the way, they're not safe injection sites. I'm sorry. I used your dishonest language. See, you just repeat the language that is fed to you by the government. Are you a CP? Are you a CP?
Okay, I won't pause a lot here, but anytime Pierre Poilievre says, "Are you with CP?" which is the Canadian press, gold is about to be delivered.
CP?
Who are you with?
Globe and Mail.
You're with the Globe and Mail. You guys repeat the same language you get from the radical liberal NDP activists and bureaucracies.
Wow.
You call them safe. How can they be safe? You think it's safe when a bullet comes flying out of one of these sites to kill a mother in Toronto? Do you think that's safe? You think it's safe to have people using crack and heroin and cocaine next to a playground like this?
Let's go.
You think that's safe? It's not safe.
Supervised injection sites.
They're drug dens. They're drug dens. And they've made everything worse. Everywhere they've been done, they've made everything worse. And I know what you'll do now. You'll now go and call the same bureaucrats who caused the chaos, and you'll call them experts. The people who caused the 400% increase in drug overdose deaths in Vancouver, you're going to call them experts. They are expert at destroying communities and ending lives, but at perpetuating their own industries, because that's what they are.
Boom.
They are industries that want to expand, and the only way they can continue to exist is by keeping the misery going. So they're not safe. They are unsafe injection sites. They are drug dens, and we oppose them. The Supreme Court has been very clear that these radical bureaucrats don't have the right to open these drug dens anywhere they want. The court made it clear that there are reasonable restrictions that can be placed on them, and that includes playgrounds. So I've told you my policy. I'm against the drug dens next to children's playgrounds, schools, other places where people who are vulnerable in the community live. We will defund them. There will not be a single taxpayer dollar from the Poilievre government going to drug dens. Every single penny will go to treatment and recovery services to bring our loved ones home drug-free. Thank you.
Okay, merci.
Nice try. Nice try. The Supreme Court didn't say that. See, I know what you're trying to do. The Supreme Court didn't. No, I'm giving you my answer. The Supreme Court did not say that there can be. It's okay. The Supreme Court didn't say that you can have a drug den wherever you want. It said that there are reasonable restrictions that can be placed to stop them from opening up in locations that endanger the community or where there is community opposition. That's what the Supreme Court actually said. Now, I know that wacko politicians and the Liberals and the NDP and their supporters in the media want to make it sound like there's a constitutional obligation that we allow these drug dens anywhere they want to go up. That is not true. That is the opposite of true. We have the power under Section 56.1 of the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act to reject these drug dens and shut them down where they endanger the public, and that's what I will do.
Beautiful. This is why I love Pierre Poilievre. He doesn't allow the media to bully him. He's standing up for what's right, and I agree with him. Only liberal crazies think that giving drug addicts more drugs is going to save lives. This is like moronic logic, and I commend Pierre Poilievre for standing up to these people. Well done. And to all the wacko leftists who are absolutely reeing right now over this, you think that your position is the popular one? Look at the polling numbers. You are wrong. The majority of Canadians back Pierre Poilievre and back common sense. And these latest polling numbers we just got are the worst I've ever seen for the Liberals. Pierre Poilievre is now touching 45%. He's never touched 45% before. But go ahead, Liberals. Preach to us why you are right. And at this press conference, Pierre Poilievre was not pulling any punches today. He absolutely unloads on Justin Trudeau here, where he calls Justin Trudeau a joke on the world stage.
It's clear now Justin Trudeau is seen as an absolute joke on the world stage. He was a...
Play that again. It's like an orgasm to my ears.
Seen as an absolute joke on the world stage.
Beautiful.
He was I was embarrassed to see our Prime Minister treated like a human piñata by the rest of the NATO countries. They look upon him with total and complete ridicule. Canadians are tired of being embarrassed by a Prime Minister who prances around and preens, lectures the world without doing his part.
I mean, it's brutal, but it's honest. It's true. I mean, he is a joke on the world stage. Pierre Poilievre may actually have a point here, because footage has emerged today of Justin Trudeau giving his closing speech at the NATO summit. And guess what? He gave a speech to an empty room. Look at this. Look how
Bonjour tout le monde. Le sommet de l'OTAN se termine aujourd'hui ici à Washington.
Okay. You want to know what's funny about that?
Bonjour tout le monde.
Bonjour tout le monde in French means hello everybody. I want to know, where is everybody? Where is tout le monde, as Justin Trudeau says? Look at this room. It's empty. You guys remember when he spoke at the EU to an empty room? Well, it looks like it's happening at NATO as well. We're counting 4 people in the room here. 4 people. One of them's a cameraman. Another one's a cameraman. Someone sitting in the back row here. And another person sitting in the back row. But you know what? That's probably his security, to be honest. Let's put on some sad music and play this again here. What a crowd.
Bonjour
What?
tout le monde. Le sommet de l'OTAN se termine.
Bonjour. Hello, everybody.
Le sommet de l'OTAN se termine aujourd'hui ici à Washington. Avec nos alliés, on a...
Oh, man. Poor Trudeau. The L's just never stop. I don't know about you guys, but this whole NATO footage reminds me a lot of this, where Justin Trudeau was waving to nobody on his way to this very NATO meeting. How ironic. And something really funny happened after I posted this clip here from NATO on X, as it appears the Chinese are calling Trudeau a potato again. I translated this quote tweet from my post here, and in Chinese, this guy writes this above my tweet, and it translates to, Justin Potato speaks to an empty hall at NATO summit. Ha ha. Justin Potato. Absolutely hilarious. And we're going to stay on Pierre Poilievre here because I have one more clip to show you guys. Now, you remember my tweet I put out a couple of days ago that went viral, saying that Pierre Poilievre promises to eradicate wokeness from the Canadian military, how our military is going to change from a woke culture to a warrior culture? Well, at today's press conference, Pierre Poilievre confirmed it. Canadian military is going from a woke culture to a warrior culture. Watch.
So, on the subject of NATO, why won't you commit to meeting the NATO target instead of saying you would work toward meeting the spending commitment? The difference being saying you're going to do something versus working toward or trying to do something.
I always say what I mean and mean what I say. I make promises that I can keep. And
I'm with you on that one, Pierre. I say what I mean and mean what I say, and I keep my promises as well. Like that mentality.
now we are, our country is broke after 9 years of Trudeau, who's doubled our national debt, ballooned our bureaucracy, caused the worst inflation in 40 years, driven 25% of our population into poverty and 25% of our children into hunger. So as you can imagine, I'm inheriting a dumpster fire when it comes to the budget. So every time I make a financial commitment, I'm going to make sure I've pulled out my calculator and done all the math. Because people are sick and tired of politicians just announcing that they're going to spend money without figuring out how they're going to pay for it. Obviously, Trudeau has demolished our military. And my common sense approach is I will cut foreign aid to dictators, terrorists, and multinational bureaucracies. I will crack down on corruption, back office bureaucracy, and procurement bungles. And I will use the savings from that to reinforce our military. We will buy equipment based on best value to make our money go further, as we did during the previous Conservative government, which re-equipped our forces rapidly, on time, and on budget to fight in Afghanistan. And I will replace the woke culture with a warrior culture so that we can get recruitment back up and running. We can recruit the next generation of soldiers, sailors, and airmen. Thank you.
Well, you heard the man. Our Canadian military culture is about to change significantly from a woke culture to a warrior culture. And you know what I like about that? He's 100% right here, because the reason people are not joining our military is because it's a woke circus. Obviously, this is tied to our low recruitment numbers, and hopefully this change of culture that Pierre Poilievre is promising is going to help with the recruitment. I like it. And in our last clip of the night, we'll end it off here on a laugh, because you guys remember yesterday when we talked about George Clooney being sent in to finish off Joe Biden? Well, apparently George Clooney may be coming to Canada to be the one who finally ends it for Chrystia Freeland.
So although I wish I were here with better news, the fact is that you and I are sitting here today because this will be your last week of employment. This is not an assessment of your productivity. You gotta try not to take this personally.
Well, looks like the Liberals stole the Democrats' plan and got George Clooney on the phone to clean up this bloody Liberal mess. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap here, but tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of that Pierre Poilievre press conference today? Did you guys enjoy that as much as I did? Tell me in the comments down below. Also, Justin Trudeau giving a speech to nobody at NATO. Is this a sign of the end for Trudeau? I want to hear it in the comments as well. If you guys enjoy what I'm doing here and you want to support my work, here are the steps. Like the video, drop a comment, share the video. That helps a lot. Tell your friends about that crazy Canadian called the Pleb on YouTube. If you want to support me even more, you could buy a membership for $5 Canadian. My name is the Pleb. Double P, hit us with the outro.
Hey, keep up the great work.
Thank you, guys. You hear that?
Keep up the great work.
Keep up the great work.
Let's bring it home.
Let's bring it home.
See you guys at the next one. Peace.